Howdy ho! I think it's time that I give you a little bit of an update on what's going on with me. Perhaps you have seen my post that I made 4 weeks ago, whenever it was, that I was in a car crash. And technically not as bad as what I showed you in the opening of the video, but it was still a significant car crash. Significant enough to A, total the car, B, actually injure me, and C, to have put me out of work so far ever since. So what happened? I was working. I drive for Uber in New York City, so I'm a taxi driver. And I had just picked up a couple of customers, and I'm going down that same block, barely 100 feet, four-way stop sign intersection, even though my road is a one-way, so obviously I don't have any oncoming traffic, right? But the road I'm crossing over has got two-way traffic, but we all have stop signs. And the first to enter the intersection, my side of the road is very busy with bars and clubs and restaurants and stuff. It was 2 in the morning, right? But very busy with people, and they cross the street recklessly, right? They hardly ever look. They don't slow down. They think they have right of way. Now, beside that, I have a stop sign. It's set back. You still have to get across the crosswalk area, right? So, which you have to do in that particular neighborhood very carefully because of these people. They drink, they do drugs, they don't pay attention. So I was going very slow. I was crossing the intersection maybe at, I don't know, 10 miles per hour at the most. And remember, it's a four-way stop, right? So I stopped, I pulled up, I started crossing the intersection, and then I got T-boned. Car came from my left. Didn't really see that car coming. Remember, it's a four-way stop, right? From stop sign, stop line to impact, it's essentially like 35 feet or something. I was looking up the number. If you drive at 25 miles an hour, you cross 35 feet, roughly 35 to 40 feet or so. So if that person was stopping at the stop sign, I doubt it. Right? It's definitely not possible. Anyway, so the person ran a stop sign, was driving fast, and the road conditions there are horrible too. You don't drive fast over there. I don't think I've ever driven 25 miles down that road. And I'm there all the time, often multiple times in a day even. So I'm very familiar with it. Anyway, so the person ran the stop sign and with full speed crashed into me, right smack into the driver's door. Here's some pictures from the damage of my car. I don't have any actual pictures from the accident itself because I never left my car really until I got into the ambulance. So at the last moment, just before the crash, I was, just looking to my right, checking the intersection. It's a long stretch, it's better chance of people actually speeding there. And then I'm looking over, and then I'm seeing there's a car, and then it was too late already. I couldn't even tell you really the color of the car or what kind of car. Totally smashed into me. Every airbag in my car went off. Steering wheel airbag, left side airbag, middle airbag, rear airbag. The entire left side, every airbag went off. And, I was, of course, immediately in pain. I don't think I blacked out or became unconscious or whatever you want to call it. But I was immediately in pain. My shoulder and my left arm seemed to be injured somehow, and I couldn't really move them. My foot, ankle, I had some pain. My hip hurt a little bit. other things are harder to evaluate. You don't really know where pain is actually coming from, but it's everything left side, right? So like second after impact, 2 seconds later, something like that, right? I guess I'm at a stop now. There's from the airbags, there's puffs of smoke. It's not smoke, it's like dust. There's powdery material that's in there, right? Plus there's a exploding mechanism, so something coming off from it, which I've never been in an accident like this, so I don't know what it means, right? So I was like, oh shit, if the car goes up in flames, I can't be stuck here in this thing. So I used my right arm, took the seatbelt off, and scooted over. At this moment I was high on adrenaline, right? Scooted over to the passenger seat. My left leg was actually still on the left side, but my right leg was no longer. And I was sitting on the passenger seat, and I immediately opened the door. So in case there are flames, I have a way of at least, letting myself drop out of the vehicle or so. And I had passengers in the car. They're still behind me. They were on the rear bench. They were kind of confused a little bit. They asked me, can we go? Can we stay? No, I'm sure they asked, can we go? And I was like, no, you got to stay for the police report, right? They're my witnesses. I'm sure they didn't see anything anyway. Probably one of them cheating at least. I don't think they were a permanent couple, so they didn't want to have anything. I was like, hey, why can't you come home? It's like, yeah, I'm whatever, right? And it's like, but apparently they weren't injured. If they are, that's their problem at this point. Anyway, so they didn't want to stay. They opened the door in the rear, and they just disappeared. But I stayed in the car, and because of my left injury, I didn't even want to get out. I was waiting for the ambulance. There was actually a hospital just like 5-6 blocks up the road, but it's not a trauma center. So anyway, police came, EMTs came, fire department. We're blocking the entire intersection now, right? And then when the ambulance finally came, of course they did the evaluation, whatever, blah blah blah. With my injury, it's like, I don't know what's wrong. It felt like my shoulder's broken. I technically don't really know yet what's really all wrong with it. We are still trying to figure it all out, but I guess a preliminary diagnosis is left shoulder derangement. We still got to go over the x-rays, MRI and stuff. It's really the major part, I guess. So when the ambulance was finally ready, they just helped me out of the vehicle, put me on a seat to the ambulance, on a stretcher in the ambulance, and then took me to a different hospital because they were looking for a trauma center. Even so, the other one had an emergency room, but I guess it's different. I don't know. And I never actually saw the damages to the vehicle until, I never saw both vehicles. I don't know what the other vehicle looked like. I guess I know from the police report what kind of vehicle it is. Like a Jeep SUV type, right? But I didn't see the extent of the damage on the other vehicle. Eventually, like a few days later, when I picked up the police report, that's when I found out where my car was towed to. So I didn't even know where my car was towed before my ambulance even left. They were that quick towing my car away. That was kind of funny. So when I had the police report, then next day I went to the tow yard just to empty my personal possessions out of the vehicle, because it's a rental vehicle, so that's going back to the leasing company's lot, and they are far away. It's like it would have been a pain to do that. So getting everything out of the vehicle from the tow yard was a much better solution for me. And that's when I was able to take a few pictures. So as you can see, I've got the damage majority to the front left door, and all the way to the front left tire. That door is like, I mean, it's coming out of it's pretty good bent out of shape, right? And then of course, you can see every single one of those airbags having been deployed on the left hand side. That was a pretty good bang. And yeah, I was going slow. If I was even going 10 miles per hour, that would have been a lot, because with that distance, and even going across the intersection, there's also a train stop right there, so you have people come up from the train. There's like, you always have to deal with pedestrians there, right? And drunk people, you don't go fast. But yeah, I guess the other person didn't care about that. Anyway, so yeah, car probably totaled. It's an older car, obviously. It was like, I don't know, 200-something thousand miles on it or something. At certain age and miles, vehicles are simply totaled. As far as my damage is concerned, like I said, I'm still going through the process of figuring everything out. But you see that bump here on my shoulder? Yeah, exactly. It's that is what I have to deal with. So I'm not allowed to work. As a matter of fact, I don't think I can work. I'm left-handed, right? So it's not that my hand is immobile entirely, but I was trying to put some salt on my food earlier, and just lifting up this 1 pound can of salt to shake it on there, that was a lot of strain on my shoulder. I did not like that feeling at all. So that is that. Yeah, I don't think I'll be going back to work until this is fixed and healed properly or whatever. I don't know. Right? It's like I've got to listen to the doctors here, and that is that, and that is that. So, been out of work for 3 weeks already, just over 3 weeks, and I've got no idea when I'm going back to work. I don't actually have health insurance. I don't have any other kind of insurance really. So the entire thing is going to be going through the no-fault claim process, which is never a good or easy process. But it's literally the only insurance I have. It's gonna take a while, right? But it's not gonna make it easier. I've got, like, I don't know if I get any kind of disability or if there's workers' comp or whatever. Like, I've got no idea. All I know right now is, like, I've been out for 3 weeks without income, but still having expenses, right? Bills and stuff. And I don't know for how long I'm gonna be out. All right, it could be 4 more weeks, could be 8 weeks, could be 12 weeks. I don't actually know. At some point along the way, I do not know anymore how to support myself, right? It's that is kind of like the way the story goes. So I've got to start being very careful with a few dollars that I have left. Anyway, so that is I got an appointment tomorrow. I've got an appointment next week. I had an appointment on Friday. I had to take a lawyer to coordinate some of these things, because I don't really know what to do, where to go, who to ask, what's the phone numbers to call, right? Even finding a doctor that actually accepts no-fault insurance, that wasn't easy. I had to get creative with even finding someone like that, because my regular doctor, right? I called my doctor for the after hospital checkup, right? And they're like, oh, we don't take no fault. I was like, okay, so I've got a regular doctor, but I don't actually have a regular doctor because you don't want to do it. It's like, oh, that sucks, man. So yeah, it's a very lonely process, and that is that is the way the cookie crumbles. So you know, it's like I was doing so well. You know, this was like the first car accident I've ever been in. Not that I've been in that many anyway, where I actually needed medical attention. Well, I was run over once as a pedestrian by a car. That was painful too. But that was like 20 years ago or something. No more, 25 probably. But yeah, I never really had to deal with any of these things, and not having health insurance doesn't help, because you know, like it's technically everything is gonna come out of pocket, and very soon, I mean, not that I have money to spend right now, but very soon there is no out of pocket for me, right? I don't have money. It's so we'll see how that ends. You know, I guess as far as accidents are concerned, not that bad. Not that bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's you know, relatively medium severity, right? Of the damage is relatively medium severe. It's not mild, but you know, I guess you could say I got away with a blue black eye. If the other person would have driven just a little bit faster, it could have been so much more worse. I'm not particularly happy about any of this, obviously. But yeah, it's another setback. You know, setbacks are never great. My strength has always been that I always had work. I was always making money. No matter what life was thrown, I was always having a job. And, you know, having injury, it's the only thing that keeps you from actually working, right? There's like nothing else. It's like, I wish I could work. I'm thinking, I was like, yeah, could I get a job somewhere? Can I work somewhere as a cashier or this or that, right? Just to make a couple of dollars to keep myself afloat. But the reality is, like I said, trying to pour that salt on my dinner, that impacted my shoulder, and it's painful, and I shouldn't be doing that. So even mild work, right? It's like I just can't do it. You know, shoulder is kind of an important thing, and I'm left-handed. You know, this is my dominant hand, right? This is what I do stuff with. Now I do some stuff like on my phone, I'm on my right hand, and on a computer I would be having the mouse on my right hand. But that's just only those two specific things, really. Everything else I'm left-handed, and you know, that's the arm that doesn't work. So I'm not happy. I'm a little bit more mobile now with my arms movements. I guess some of the what is it called, soft tissue damage, you know, is probably going, I don't want to say away, but it's reduced. Or swelling is reduced. I don't know. You know, don't ask me for medical explanations, but I can move my arm a little bit more without being in super pain. It's easier for me to put on a shirt or take a shirt off now. I can actually tie my shoes again, right? That took over a week, nearly 2 weeks. I couldn't tie my shoes because I couldn't bend down like that. And you know, because you need to move your shoulder for that, right? To get down there, right? It's like I couldn't do that. It's like I used my shoes like slippers. So anyway, yeah, this is quite a bit of a setback. I hope I'll recover from this soon. You know, without too much of financial damage. Some people would probably say, well, you drive for Uber, sue Uber. I don't know, man. It's like well, I had to take a lawyer anyway, so the lawyer is gonna do whatever the lawyer thinks needs to be done, because I don't know shit. Right? That's just a reality. I don't know anything. I've never been in accidents like this. I don't have people who have been in accidents like this. And even if I know someone, these are details no one talks about, right? It's you know, like, hey, I got a settlement. It's like nobody talks about these things. nobody wants anyone else to know how much money they got out of something. So yeah, I know nothing, right? It's like I depend on other people to tell me what to do, how to do it, and whatever. So I hope the lawyer is halfway decent. Yeah, so that's all that carnivore diet. So what's new about the carnivore diet? Well, I'm still on the carnivore diet. I haven't been doing any cooking really, obviously, because of injury. I had some, I'm hoping to maybe even this week to slowly start cooking again. I've got to do some cleanup in my van in the back, but in order to do proper cleanup, guess what you need? You need 2 hands, because I got some of these Amazon boxes and I shoved multiple things in there, and sometimes they're a little heavy. You can't just hold it with 1 hand, right? You need 2 hands, and then anyway, so I'm hoping to get back to some more cooking. Today I had 8 hard-boiled eggs and 1 pound of ground beef, and that's not too bad. I think that's that might hold me over the entire day. Maybe not. I guess I could make another. I've bought another 18 pack of eggs. I could cook up another 6 of them if I wanted to. If I feel hungry later on. And then, just salt. So it's eggs, ground beef, and salt. I was kind of lucky too with the accident, because I couldn't move, right? And I was like, well, I was working, right? And the accident happened at like just past 2 a.m. And normally I finish, or that day I would have, or I'd planned on finishing by 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. So I was in my last hour. It was really literally this customer, which would have been like a 20-25 minute trip, and then probably 1 more right after, and I would have been done, right? So then normally I would be going to bed. So, I don't want to say I was tired at that moment, but, instead of going to bed at 4 or 5 in the morning, now I spent the entire next day being awake at the hospital. I didn't leave the hospital until like 5 in the afternoon, between 4 and 6 in the afternoon. So I spent a lot of time there. And, besides being tired, of course, by the end of it, right? Because I didn't actually sleep. I caught a minute or 2 here and there. I was like, I had this stupid neck brace on, and I understand I needed it on, and probably was a good thing, but it made it literally impossible to get comfortable. The neck brace itself gave me more discomfort and pain almost than the damage I was having on my shoulder. So, but yeah, so because I'm on carnivore, I didn't have to go to the bathroom, because on carnivore we don't always have to go on a daily basis. Sometimes you skip 2-3 days. So that was a good thing. I was like, thanks heavens, I don't have to go anywhere, be embarrassed, because sometimes I don't even want you to leave your bed, right? So I want to give you a bedpan or something, and I'm not gonna be taking a dump in the bedpan. But yeah, so it's kind of like one of the benefits of carnivore. Also, that entire day I didn't eat anything, right? Because they're not gonna feed you in the emergency room, right? They don't know when I had my last meal. But because I'm on carnivore, I wasn't actually hungry. So that was a good thing too. It made managing both hunger levels and digestive issues less of an issue, right? Neither one bothered me, right? So that was good, at least. But yeah, still on Carnivore. Trying to get back into the cooking pot as soon as I can, make it work. There's an apprehension of me with wanting to be on the road. I'm also, like, sure, you see me now sitting in my van, right? But it's because I don't have a choice. I literally don't have a choice. I've got to go to the store to buy my food. I've got to go to the store to get a beverage. I've got to go to the store to go to the bathroom. I've got to go to the gym to take a shower. I have to make multiple trips in a day. But lucky they're all short, so I can kind of avoid using my left arm. I normally have it just lay it down here on the left hand side, and hold on to the dash, don't do anything really, and then do all my steering with my right hand, which is not easy because I'm left-handed. It's just a reality here. Anyway, so that's the update. I hope you're all doing wonderful. What says it now? It's somewhere close to the end of September. Not the way I had it planned, but the show must go on somehow. And right now, healing is the one priority. It's like when the time comes. So yeah, that's all that. I'm hoping to make another video soon, more carnivore related. I hope to be able to make another carnivore related video soon. Talked about some of my experiences. It's obviously during the last 3 weeks I was not motivated to do anything. I was always in pain, always in discomfort, and like my head simply hasn't been in the right place to make a video. It's while you could say the injury is not life-threatening, the situation is quite threatening to my life, right? It has a massive health impact, obviously. It has a massive financial impact, and it's not moving me forward. And I'm a bit depressed about everything. I don't want to deal with people. I want to stay away from people. I don't trust people anymore. It's the amount of people that I see on a daily basis, or have been seeing at least when I was working, running stop signs, lights, going around traffic to run lights, making turns illegally, just speeding, everything. It's like, God, it's driving me bonkers. And I have to admit, I don't want to be out there with these people. It's not a nighttime issue because it's only because you work at nighttime or whatever, blah, blah. No, this is not a nighttime issue. This is during the daytime too. People don't give a fuck anymore. And they are reckless, they are careless. I don't know, is there something in the water? They're not paying attention to anything anymore? I can't even tell you, man. But it's driving me crazy, and I don't want to be around the people anymore. And that's kind of like what makes it hard for me, right? It makes it hard to wing out the camera. It makes it hard even to make my appointments, because the real repercussion from the accident is that I have to deal with things, kind of like socially, that I don't want to do at all. I have to seek out people to get help. I have to call people, I have to talk to people, I have to do this, I have to do that. Everything is like with people calling, looking something up, another number, trying to describe a situation, whatever, trying to get an answer, being turned down. I'm depressed as it is. I don't want to deal with these kind of things. The last thing I want to do is deal with people. Right? I just want to crawl into my little hole and just wake up and everything is fine again, right? This is not my happy place. This is not where I want to be. and it makes life tricky. So so that is that, you know. So it makes, I mean, I guess everybody is in that situation. And I've got to go back to work at some point, right? Being back out on the road with these idiots. Yeah, but it's the only job I can take that actually pays me what it pays. And I don't have any other options, right? I'm not that smart. I don't have no degree in anything. Right? I've got to do some form of technically physical labor, right? Driving a taxi is physical labor. It's not a mental job. It's not like I'm not an engineer. So yeah, so that's the challenges I'm dealing with, kind of, you know. And you know, it's whatever. On a positive note, I don't know. I don't have a positive note right now. I guess I'm alive. That's just about it. I guess that's a good start. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.